The question is, how will I get home? I don't know the date of my return yet. I know when it might be, but it's based on my daughter's recovery, and I'm hoping that will go well. Will I be able to have the luxury of a roomette? Will I go back and coach because the differential is way too much? Or it's possible even that if it's delayed that I might not take the train back, that Dave might meet me here with the vans. So I know what I'm doing now. My daughter's recovery has gone very well, and once she's able to drive, which will be in a couple of days, I will be heading home, and this time I will be going by train. We're early enough that it makes sense for me to travel back to Florida and then meet up with Dave. So I'm going to be taking the Floridian back the other way from Petersburg to Jacksonville, and with some points we've earned, I will have the privilege of a roomette again. So this time I think I'll get a supper on the train, but it gets in pretty early, so I don't think I'll get breakfast unless it's late. So looking forward to seeing Dave and hopefully an uneventful trip on the train. So each morning when I've been here in Emporia, when I can, I walk down on this path down by the Meherrin River in Emporia, and it is right by the same tracks that we cross when the Amtrak train comes through Emporia. Crosses over the river right here. Although the parking lot is full when I arrive at the Petersburg station, the train station is empty because it's the northbound Palmetto that's just pulled in, and all these people or most of these people are getting on that. Next train into the station is the southbound Carolinian, but we're about a half hour late on the Floridian, so still have about 40 minutes to wait. Here comes the Floridian. It's 5:15, so it's about 35 minutes late. And we just had a huge freight train come through right in front of us, so I'm wondering if that's going to make us later as we go further south. Okay, a little excitement as I was about to get on board the train. The woman in front of me got on board, and then the train started inching forward. It felt like, it's like, wait for me. But the attendant was also on the platform as well, so he just said, wait. I've seen that on TV where people go running for a train, but I didn't really want to have to do it in real life. So at any rate, I'm on a Viewliner 1 car, a sleeper car, as we leave Petersburg. And other than the fact that it's an older car, it has very much similar layout. Some of the appliances and features are obviously dated, but it still has the plugs and air call buttons and lights and such. But the biggest difference in this East Coast car is that it has the toilet, and I think I'll have an enjoyable ride south. And I'm gonna see if I can't capture a picture of Jared as we go through for my for my family's sake. So the Viewliner 1, the older cars, have this a little bit unusual locking system. So you have to push this down and pull that over. As I said, the The Viewliner 2 has a much simpler process for locking your door. The plug for the power outlet is on the side where the toilet and the sink are, but the interesting thing about that to me is that it's on the side that's facing away from the direction of travel, which makes it less convenient for unless you have a really long cable. This car has something I just haven't noticed before. Maybe it's always been there in these older Viewliner 1 cars, but it has these fans that are at each level of the bed. So this one will blow on the person on the lower bunk, and then there's another one up there that for the person in the upper bunk, which is kind of nice. I know I like a fan. My husband doesn't. So if I had seen that or it registered in other cars, I think I would have taken better advantage of it, but I didn't know it was there. This car has one shower to serve the roomette cabins, but unlike the Viewliner 2 or the double-decker West Coast trains, there is no bathroom other than the one in the room. The rail yard just south of Petersburg. I was kind of hoping that freight train that had passed us by was maybe pulled off to the side here, but no such luck. Tiny town of Jarrett, Virginia.
This is spot reservation. Please make your way to the diner at this time. Once again, if you're holding this spot reservation, please make your way to the diner at this time.
So I had a 6 o'clock dinner and enjoyed the company of another passenger for a dinner, and just as I'm finishing up, we are pulling into Rocky Mount, and pretty sunset. As we come into Wilson, North Carolina, just before we get to Raleigh, Wilson has a storied history, as it was once the world's leading market for tobacco and was a thriving and prosperous community in its heyday back in early 1900s. Today it has a large historic district, a small college, Barton College, and it has a whirligig park, which is not too far away from the train tracks here as we pass through Wilson. As we come into Raleigh, which is the North Carolina state capital, we are approaching, we're still 45 minutes late and I had a coincidental my dinner companion was a student at Shaw University here in Raleigh, and Raleigh, that Shaw University is the oldest African American university in North Carolina. It was started in 1865. It's actually more than 20 years before NC State, which Raleigh is pretty famous for. So just an interesting little tidbit I learned. I learned that the sleeper cars have river names, and they start with rivers beginning with, the oldest cars have names that begin with the letter A down to the early P's. And if you get a car that's name is Portage or later, you've got one of the newer cars. Quiet night in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it's just after 6 on Thursday morning, and we're going to be pulling into Jacksonville, maybe on time, maybe a little late, but pretty close. And there's not much to show outside because it's still before sunrise. I think we get into Jacksonville right at sunrise. So a good night's sleep, and a pretty uneventful trip, which is a good thing. And I look forward to getting home. Coming into Jacksonville on time, and the sun is just beginning to pop out. And it's a little ironic. When I arrived in Petersburg, the high was 90 degrees, and back in Jacksonville today, the high is 90 degrees. Welcome home.